Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Monkey here.
And Jacob Weil.
And Claude Coinga.
And welcome to another installment of DuckTales. Crew-ho!
Crew-hoo.
Crew-hoo.
And tonight we are gathering together at the old ancestral home that I need to re-look up the title of.
Castle McDuck.
Yeah, something about... No, I didn't want DuckTales Classic Wikipedia. Here we go. As we join in for newest episode of the reboot DuckTales series, The Fight for Castle McDuck!
Woo!
Okay. So we're back at the old Castle McDuck, as the title suggested. Do we have any initial thoughts?
That was a relatively decent episode. I mean, it doesn't really push the plot forward, doesn't really push the overall overarching plot forward in any significant way that we can see. But not every episode needs to be that way. It has like some fun character interactions. I mean, especially with the Phantom Blood and his sidekick. Plus, we get to see a bit of family insight to the McDuck side of the family. A return from his mom and dad, and meet one of his sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was a pretty fun show, a pretty fun episode, and kind of undemanding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with everything he said. It was a decent episode. Nice to see the Phantom Blood again. And Michelle Gomez was a good appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Another
as Matilda.
Another Doctor Who alumni.
Yeah, but not with David Tennant. I don't think he was on when she was on.
But it's still drawing from the same source.
Yeah, exactly.
So on my end, I'd say out of the recent batch we've gotten, I'd probably put this one on the lower end. I'm not sure it did a ton for me, but the last third is the strongest of the acts, and yeah, it is nice to... I am enjoying this dynamic between Pepper and the Blot. They're Pepper and the Blot. Yes, Pepper and the Blot. One is in blackness, the other is not. That was that was not good enough. Like, it rhymed. I rhymed on a dime, but it wasn't as creative as it could have been.
And it was harmonious too.
Gee, Blot, what are we gonna do tonight? Same thing we do every night, Pepper. Try to rid the world of magic!
Yeah. They kind of do have that kind of dynamic, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Pepper seems to be smarter than Pinky, I'd say. It would seem.
Well, I mean, it's not hard to be smarter than Pinky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not the blood is smarter than the brain, we'll find out.
Mm-hmm. The Pepper's braver, though. She's the only egghead that's willing to be around the blood, apparently.
Yep.
Right.
Because none of them like him, apparently. So.
Well, apparently she's fond of him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the two of them develop a good chemistry by the end of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and even at the end, it's kind of like the Bloods are like, it's not like I had to save you or anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Better relationship than Blackhair and Steelbeak, though.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah!
I mean, I guess that's kind of more of a Pinky in the brain kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
but it doesn't match the pair. It doesn't become as parodic a phrase as well.
Yeah, true.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Blot may be making a stronger... Or like he's transitioning into being a comedic monster more smoothly than Magica did in the first season. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, kind of antitheses of each other in a way.
Mm-hmm. He's becoming the anti-Magica in a way, so.
But still evil. And Pepper's just basically there for him to have a sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, foul protocol.
Because that's the rule apparently. Every missing mystery adventure and they need a sidekick. So.
Well, being apparent, I mean, it almost worked out well for them. So, I mean, she definitely proved her worth.
Very much. Yeah. There's a great touch where they're sneaking around. Blot goes behind one of the statues. Pepper goes in front of it.
Yeah.
See, so honestly, loyal viewers, who knows how long this one's gonna go on for? This may be one of those where there's not a ton to say about the episode.
The animation seemed like a little bit more fluid in this episode. I mean, like overall, it just seems like a bit more lively than normal. Maybe that's just me. But
especially when the statues come to life, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Speaking of, that's a perfect direction for the story to go. Have the statues of the old McDuck clan also arguing. That's perfect.
Yep. And because of the episode's MacGuffin.
I see what you did there.
And the voice by some people on the show already as well.
Right.
Like David Tennant voices like Dirty Dingus McDuck.
And yes, that is an actual name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part was funny too.
It's not drawn from the comic. It's not. I mean, it's drawn from the comics, so it's not something made up for this show. So yes, kids, yes, kids, that's not something they're trying to sneak in.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it Fergus having a similar relation to his dad as Scrooge does with him? It's
like you're
mooching off your own kin.
It's like you built all these other statues, but you couldn't build a big one for your own father.
Yeah, it's
for the record, my son made me this castle.
Yeah, like seeing that dynamic between the two of them. That was a very much highlight of this episode.
History kind of repeats itself in a way.
Yep.
And proves that even great families have their squabbles.
Yeah.
Even a family as great as the McDucks.
Yeah. Like the one about Whiskers. That's what.
Yeah, Whiskers is back. Aw.
You painted Whiskers.
Let's see. This episode has an emu in it. That's certainly appreciated.
Yeah.
And the emu gets to help out later, so my two pop culture references of choice are either Some Jerk with a Camera's whole thing about emu farms, or this episode brought to you by Liberty Mutual.
or the emu farms from Disneyland.
No, about...
I know, it's like referencing Escape from Tomorrow.
Yeah, Escape from Tomorrow. How if the emu legend is true, that means Disney's currently breeding and slaughtering 800,000 emus, which is more than exist in their native continent. Also, was pointed out. You ever see 8 emus in the same place? You ever go to an emu farm? There's like 5 emus tops, and that's an emu farm. You can tell where my fandoms lie. They mention an emu farm, that's where my mind goes.
Yep. Anyway.
Yeah, I wonder if the whole sibling rivalry runner of this theme of this episode, I wonder if that plays better for those who are more familiar with sibling dynamics, speaking as an only child.
Yep, it's definitely like being a sibling.
Webby doesn't know how that feels too, so.
I'm the young guy. Let's just say I'm the youngest. I have an older sister who's 2 years older than me, and an older half brother who's 10 years older than me. So yeah. I can't say we ever had any emus or anything like that, but.
Or let's see.
Or apparently wads of fur as pets.
Right.
Well, at least you didn't to try and stop the argument.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which leads to a whole thing on who the favorite is.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I broke Clay McDuck.
So that's great when Dewey starts up upon hearing, like, I'm the favorite. They look, and it cuts to him playing dead again. That's a great transit bit of editing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dewey.
Mm-hmm. Go on, what we do. He just said that to make Matilda feel bad.
What?
Yeah.
It's
kind of funny that and Scrooge and Matilda just basically acting like spoiled kids. It's like Scrooge going like, Ma!
Yeah, we get
And
to see an
Matilda's
angrier
response.
side of Downey in this episode.
Mm-hmm. Towards Matilda, especially.
Yep.
Mm.
It's kind of funny seeing that like the dad take like Matilda's side and the mom taking Scrooge's side.
Mm-hmm. They even wear similar shirt colors too.
Yeah.
And so that's and I like how they referenced like how they explained how Matilda's still alive after all this time.
Right.
Like how the castle, how it's keeping his parents alive, it's also keeping her alive too.
Yeah, I guess because like she lived there at the time or something.
Yeah, but
It's like he's talking about like, well, she was like, if you were here more of the time, it's like, oh, I'm here, like, you know, leave home. That's I built, by the way. That's keeping you immortal, by the way.
mm-hmm.
Gotta love Scrooge's passive aggressive ramblings.
See, I like
I
the
wonder
message Dewey gives at the end. It feels like, I don't know, it wasn't as prominent as it could have been in the story, or as played up as it could have been. Eh.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, like Louis makes a lot of good points about wanting to avoid that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, realistically speaking, Louis makes a lot of good points. Makes pretty good points about like, I mean, wanting to like do maybe like, actually, you know, it's like kind of like an example of the simplest way is usually the best one.
Mm-hmm.
Except in this case, it kind of makes things worse.
Yeah, it's a matter of caution.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes. I mean, you work smarter, but not hard. Work smarter, not harder, but also have caution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He even takes a Hughes from time to time as well.
Oh yeah.
That was my Hughes. It's like I go into snooze whenever Huey's talking.
I wonder if Dewey does that as well.
He probably called it.
I'm just picturing a bunch of like when and if the Music Man revival with Hugh Jackman ever happens, people in the audience take a Hughes.
I mean, Dewey'd probably still call it a dues though.
Right. Speaking of statue,
Yeah.
clever Webby.
Yeah, playing to his ego.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's what gets.
I wonder what happened to Scrooge's other sister though.
Yeah.
Hortense.
I was thinking that a moment ago as well.
Hortense, who was technically Donald and Della's mother.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was
That'd
the
be an
father's name
interesting
again? Does anyone
relationship.
remember?
With the husbands?
Yeah. Was it Quackmore?
Yeah, Quackmore Deck, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was considering that Scrooge and Matilda are very old. How does that explain with how Hortense are and how young Donald is and Della are?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe they had her later in life.
Yeah. Or maybe they're adopted.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh. Maybe Webby's adopted.
Hmm.
I mean, who knows? It's like, I remember hashtag Beakley Secrets.
It's
mm-hmm.
Beakley Secrets.
Well, speaking of which, I wish Donald and Della were in this episode, though.
right. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, I guess Donald already wasn't in on the visiting Castle McDuck thing because they made sure to go behind his back the first time they came
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
Well, I mean, And yeah, I mean, I honestly think the episode probably wouldn't have been too crowded with them here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And granted,
would've
it
been
would have
funny,
been another
especially-
sibling dynamic, but again, crowded.
It would have been fun because of what Launchpad did in the last time they came to the castle.
Hmm.
Since he pretended to be Donald.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
So if he was in the episode, that would have been funny and seeing the reaction.
I remember that, but I mean, I remember what happened. I remember the concept, but I don't remember the actual execution of that. But like, if you think about it, though, kind of Blood and Peppers is kind of like a brother-sister kind of thing too.
Guess so.
Since we're talking about duos, and like, I mean, this show's like exemplified that family isn't always those who are related to you by blood. So,
Or maybe Phantom and Pip are like this universe's version of Magica and Podaspell from the original series.
we already have a Magica, so it's unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a
but
fun
we
touch
have
having
Poe in
Pepper
this
and Webby
show,
introduce
so-
themselves to each other. Very in character.
And Webby
Now,
seemed
are
to,
they related though? That's the question.
Webby seemed to have a Webby seemed to be a fangirl of Matilda McDuck.
Yeah, a McDuck I've never met!
It's like, keep it professional, Webby.
And she's also a businesswoman.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's how it goes, yeah.
It's like, and Scrooge even was even nice enough to offer some money to start, offer a bit of money to start. But she's like, I don't need money to start. For my family, unlike you.
Apparently everyone knew about the dime.
Except
But Scrooge, until he told
Yes.
him.
Ouch.
well, I mean, they got him to where he is, so.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's
That's
obviously
true.
very well off. So. And it was kind of weird. It's kind of weird though to see Scrooge like throwing an actual tantrum in a way. Like especially like giving up the McDuck name temporarily.
Yeah.
Like
Like the biggest FU from Scrooge.
It's like I am Scrooge from Clan McScrooge. I mean, I know it's like a heat of the moment thing, but he could have at least kind of thought of like a more creative name.
Keyword being could.
Yes, I mean like, it's not nearly as. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not nearly as funny, but.
Yeah. That's comedy.
Good night, everybody.
I love the name of the artifact they're looking for though. The Blessed Bagpipes.
Must be big. Oh, so that's where he gets it.
Yeah.
Or now all you have to do is find a kilt that's cursed.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if that's one of the Isabella Finch's artifacts. Blessed bagpipes, cursed McKilts. See, what other curses did Scrooge have?
I don't remember.
I mean, I know he had quite a bit in the original show, but I don't know if I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Same.
So, it's kind of for a moment though, and for a moment I legitimately believed that that Blood and Pepper are actually going to escape with the bagpipes.
It does seem, yeah, they do make it seem like that's a possibility.
Yeah, but they're thwarted at the last minute by like the family working together, and of course with a little help from the emu.
Yeah. Hey, outsiders! We've got outsiders.
But the question is the house destroyed because of the thing that he put on top of the house at the beginning?
Yeah.
I think they probably got. It was the fog. I don't know if they discovered that though.
Yeah, maybe they find it like some point after the credits begin.
Yep.
Mhm.
And it's
Like off screen somewhere.
and they're like, and I love it. Reminds me, it's like we're not putting anyone up on a pedestal. It's like, and it's Louis like, did you realize that's literally what we're doing right now?
Yeah.
I mean, because they're
Yeah, putting up statues.
So yeah,
Mhm.
not really the best analogy there, Scrooge.
Mhm.
And that's got to be painstaking work.
And they seem to get it done relatively quickly though.
Yeah,
Mhm.
nevertheless.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think we pretty much run over all the memorable moments of this episode so far. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, it was sad like seeing Webby get downtrodden, but
the only other like thing I can think of to say is the Pixies were amusing.
Yeah. And the rainbows as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I appreciate how Matilda's room had an emu theme.
Mhm.
So yeah, is there much else to say?
I mean, not really. I mean, it's not really a plot-heavy episode, like I said. I mean, unless like something in here comes back majorly, and like then even like the Journal of Isabella Finch's MacGuffin in this episode didn't really amount to much. I mean, we don't know if we're ever going to see it again, or even if we ever learn why Fowl would even need something that could bring inanimate objects to life.
It's a missing mystery. That's, I guess, it qualifies for a want.
I mean, they probably need it so it could stop. So they probably wouldn't fall into the wrong hands or whatever.
Yeah, so we could do something, however it goes.
Mhm.
Yeah, we still have no idea what Fowl's ultimate end game is.
Mhm.
Other than, well, I mean, we know the goal, which is to stop Scrooge McDuck and the adventuring and their family adventuring, but we still don't know how and why they're going after all the artifacts, or even why they needed that feather. From a couple
That's to be discovered.
Oh, I think there's some guesses on why they need the feather though. Probably to get the papyrus.
Well, I mean, they could probably just use an ordinary pen, or wait, yeah, it's like well, remember the papyrus was like
It went missing or something, and only an heir can get it.
Yes, and
yeah, so they're the clone one of Scrooge's family members. Probably Huey, since it's his season. To find.
Well, yet to find. Well, yet to see. I mean, puzzle pieces are coming together, so we'll find out.
Well, speaking of which, Fowl, I wonder if Gene the Genie's still alive though.
Probably.
I'm sure
maybe he's just trapped or something.
Yeah, he did. Remember, it's like, hello, Scrooge. I'm being captured. So yeah, that's So he's probably still alive, just trapped in the lamp.
Or the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was sucked up by the blot, right?
Right.
Which I love how the Blood and Pepper escape near the end of the episode.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. And then giving each other high fives before escaping.
Yeah, the high fives. That's a good touch. That's good.
They're now besties.
Yep. The magical world will feel Phantom Blood and Pepper, as he said.
I mean, a new dynamic duo? We'll see.
Yeah.
So is that kind of it?
Yeah, I mean, don't think, like I said, I don't think there's anything else notable that happened in this episode.
Okay, so let's, I guess, call it there. All right, thanks for listening in, listeners. Join us next time on the next installment of the next DuckTales Grow,
which is the Christmas episode.
Christmas edition. Yeah.
Yay! So I'll be
the
waiting a
Santa
day
stole
till it's
Christmas.
actually December to watch it, which should be before we record anyway, so it works.
Yay! We finally get to
Yeah.
meet. We finally figure out why Scrooge has a grudge with Santa Claus.
Mhm. Voiced by Hugh Bonneville too, so
Right.
that should be fun.
All right, well, see y'all later.
Liberty, 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 liberty.